Next up, we have Sheikh Husayn El-Mekki Abdullah-Aziz. Sheikh Husayn actually is is a board member, a part of al-Bayt Assembly in America, Colorado. He's also a local imam and is also an advisor for multiple masajids or mosques. And Sheikh Husayn, we will turn it over to you for some words tonight.
Thank you, Michael. Hope all of you are doing well tonight or this evening. I'm doing wonderful beachside, as you could see. There's definitely times change, and there's an idea that the wisest people are aware of the times that are changing, and they're able to adapt along with those changes. With COVID-19 happening, there's been a lot of difficulties and a lot of changes. The way we're meeting right now in this space, how we're connecting, it's very different than maybe what we're used to. My great aunt passed away from COVID-19. She was 95 years old. She was the oldest living member of her church back in my hometown of Philadelphia. And she did live a very blessed and prosperous life. And she gave me a lot of things to remember about how spiritual she was and how witty she was and things like that. And so when there's these kind of difficulties, there's a way that we can also see the positive in them. Definitely turn the flip side of the negative and see the positive in them. And I think about a verse in the Quran where it's sometimes just like when we speak and we repeat ourselves, sometimes in the Quran, you'll find where God is repeating something, and it's because there's emphasis on that. There's something important there. And it mentions that inna ma'al usri yusra, that surely with hardship is ease. And then it repeats the verse again. And sometimes people, they took this to mean that, okay, you go through something is difficult and then, you get to the ease. You go through the difficulties of the airport life and then you get to your destination. Okay, I'm grateful. But actually, another way to look at that is not that. And what this verse is not saying is that it has to precede. It's saying that alongside those difficulties and embedded within those difficulties, there are some positives. And while, COVID-19 has definitely brought a lot of difficulty for a lot of people, for a lot of us, one of the positive things that I can say is that people have grown together and come together on virtual spaces like we are doing, right now. So we're grateful to God for whatever positives that we're able to experience right now. When I think of the month of Ramadan, especially, it comes down to me, especially one word, and that's reevaluation. Where we think we are, who we think we are, how good we think we are, and just sitting back and reevaluating all of those things. Our relationships, all of that right now are things that we're evaluating. It brings me to, one verse that I love in the Quran, chapter 81, verse 26. It says, "Where are you going? Where are you going? فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ?" We think we know where we're going. If you'd asked us about 4 months ago where we were going, we would have probably told you we were trying to get back to the Super Bowl or something like that. We thought we knew where we were going, but where are we going? It's a moment of reflection to reevaluate and come to greater understandings about where we are and what are our shortcomings, what are our strengths, how do we leverage the strengths of one another in order to help ourselves to overcome any type of difficulty. And Ramadan is especially that for Muslims, where this is a focal point. The last thing that I'll mention is the beauty of interfaith. It's one of the greatest things that we can really put to the forefront of helping to motivate us in that process of reevaluation and seeing where are we going. Back in the day when social media was kind of just starting, there used to be, when you used to share something or post something, a lot of people would see that, a lot more people. I was There were less people on at the time. Over time, what they learned was that the algorithms had to be written in order to encourage people to use it by causing your inner circles to see your post more. So then people will post something, and the people who they're very close with, who interact with them the most, those are the people who would see them. So it creates what I call an echo chamber, what I like to call the social echo chamber. And what happens a lot of times is when people are in their little circle of space, they think that, oh, everyone's thinking like this. I said something and everybody liked it, so everyone must agree. But the reality is that the more that we go outside of that comfort zone in that space, that is when we really begin to start listening and hearing what the world is saying to us. And that becomes the beginning point of our growth as human beings. So I hope that God blesses all of you in your continued growth and in your efforts and all that you do. All of you who are listening, God bless you all. Thank you.